So we had two good pieces of information come out this weekend with NIO. One of them being that they signed another partnership. Shocker, because they sign partnerships like every week. It's like 3 times a week they sign a partnership. We also had their April numbers come out, and we're going to go over all that here in this video. So NIO signed a partnership with the University of Science and Technology of China on April 30th to collaborate. Basically, they're trying to bring young people in to kind of teach them the technology, the research, the training, which then, sets them for future for, to work for NIO or to kind of be in that industry to lead and develop better technologies. So basically the two have established this laboratory, and it's called the NIO Smart Electric Vehicle Joint Laboratory, and the lab will conduct joint research on cutting-edge scientific issues, major scientific and technological issues, and new strategic technologies. So it sounds like they're trying to come up with like newer technologies and develop basically the industry for the EV sector, because I'm imagining they're not really going to be doing anything outside of the EV industry in this lab, because it's funded by NIO. So yeah. I can't imagine they're like over here trying to solve, the random issues that are dealing with EV stuff.
Maybe this is part of maybe a week ago, maybe not even a week ago, we talked about them wanting to manufacture their own certain chips. So maybe this is kind of, part of that.
Right. Yeah, it could be because, Apple's doing their own thing with their own chips as well. So, yeah. It could be. That would definitely solve the chip shortage issue with NIO itself. Obviously, it's not going to happen like now. Right. If this ever comes up in the future, they wouldn't have this issue by doing their own chips. They might be able to make their cars smarter, advancing a little bit quicker. Too. Right. But it said the two will also use the lab to jointly apply for and undertake major national and local research projects to promote innovation on high-end technology. So maybe they will reach outside of the EV sector just a little bit, to kind of expand, just I guess the technology sector as a whole. It's kind of broad. That's like a broad statement there.
Yeah.
But they said it's located in Hefei, which is where their NIO plant is currently located as well. And it says NIO will provide the platform and resources to serve as an educational purpose there. NIO says it hopes to train and deliver globally oriented high-ended talents for the smart electrical vehicle industry. So let's go ahead and hop over to the April deliveries that we said that we were going to talk about because they released those. But before we hop into that, if you guys aren't subbed to the channel, hit that sub button. It's the best way to support the channel, keep you up to date on all things NIO and all things stock market. We also got links down there for Webull, where you guys deposit $100, you get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,800. And we also got links down there for the merch because we had a couple people ask for merchandise, and we got a link for the Patreon. The links just don't stop. We got a link for the Patreon if you guys want to hop into the Discord to get you access to the portfolio and the Discord portfolio where the members get to choose which stocks to put in there. So let's just go ahead and hop into the numbers.
Yeah, and one more thing too. Webull, you can do crypto now too, and Doge.
Oh yeah,
Doge to the moon.
Yeah. So I'm actually watching that because that was actually up this weekend. So
yeah.
Side note.
So yeah. So the deliveries, they delivered 7,102 vehicles in April, which is down 2% from March. But we'll get into why here in a little bit. But it's up 125% from a year ago, which is good. It seems like every time they're doing year over year, comparisons, it's always up over 100%, which is awesome to see. So they did 1,523 ES8s, 3,163 ES6s, and 2,416 EC6s in April. So it's all good stuff. They reached 102,803 units combined. We talked about, a couple weeks ago that they reached their 100,000th car, which is, I think a pretty big milestone. I think that's awesome to see. But they were down some because of the chip shortage, pretty much. That they closed down for, I believe it was 4 or 5 days, and they split it up in between Q1 and Q2, which is actually kind of smart. So they did it at the end of March and then the very beginning of April. So there was at least a couple days in April. So that's, that hurt their production and just the chip shortage in general. They delivered 500 fewer units in April than normal, which you don't really want to see, but they're having to cut back to, instead of doing their planned 10,000 a month, they're doing 75 or at least around 75 100 a month, which is You know, still more than last quarter. They were doing around 71, 72. So still good to see when everyone else is having to cut back. You know, they're still able to grow, even though it's, you know, not a lot. So the NIO CEO, William Lee, said that the industry as a whole believes that the third quarter will be better and the fourth quarter will be even further improved. So, you know, that's obviously good to hear, because he believes that the chip shortage, you know, should be kind of not really affecting them as much, at least by the end of Q3 into Q4. But there are also some views that are, you know, obviously more pessimistic, like I said, with the whole chip shortage. That's kind of the whole fear right now, is the whole chip shortage thing. But all their partners are supportive of NIO and want to support NIO's production, which, you know, is obviously good. You want their partners to believe in, you know, the company they're partnered with.
Right.
But NIO expects to deliver 21,000 to 22,000 vehicles in the second quarter, which is, you know, like I said, they're still able to grow, just not as much as they wanted to. Last quarter, they did 20,060 vehicles. So I know we keep saying it, but I'm still happy to see that they're able to grow, because most other manufacturers are having to shut down plants for a month or two, like GM, and pretty much all the other manufacturers are having to cut back, you know, so they're doing less than previous quarters, and NIO's still going to do, you know, 1,000 to 2,000 more than the previous quarter, which is good. It's just not as much as originally planned.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I've seen multiple reports of like Ford and GM, you know, all having to shut down for weeks because their chip shortage, and, you know, they're having issues on their end. But, you know, hopefully things pick up, and, you know, if it's not COVID, it's the chip shortage. What's next year? What's next year going to bring? You know, if it's not one thing, it's another. That's the way it
not a
goes.
Ship stuck in a canal.
Right. Right. But yeah, so also, I guess we can look at the stock real quick too while we're looking at it. If you guys haven't looked at it yet this morning, it started off a little low, but now we're actually pushing up towards the $41 mark, kind of hanging, you know, trading sideways now at $41. But it is only 10:30 on the East Coast, so we still got plenty of time during the rest of the day, you know, for this thing to trade. We'll update it later tonight in tonight's video to see how it looks. But right now we're sitting at about $41, so we're going up, not going down. So I was getting concerned that we're going to go back into the 30s, because we saw it again. We saw 30 from 43 last week. So hopefully she keeps going up in the right direction. So, you know, only one way to find out, and that's just a wait. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. If you guys like this kind of content, hit that like, share, notification bell, all that good stuff. Really supports the channel. Also got links in the description for the Patreon, the merch, and the Discord. All that good stuff is down there. Patreon gets you into the Discord, where you guys get to see our portfolios, and the Discord portfolio, where the members get to choose which stocks to put in there. And you also got the link in that down there for Webull, which gets you free money. If you deposit $100, you get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,800, which I actually saw a tweet this week from Stock Mo, who one of his users actually put in, you know, deposit $100, and they got a Tesla stock. So I'm like, that's right. I'm like, that's dope. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, you know, seeing that picture. So yeah, if you guys want any of that, it's all down there and below. But again, thank you guys so much for all the support. We'll see you guys in the next video.